Previously on Bachelor in Paradise, non-nervous people continue to feel nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
Why?
I'm not a nervous gal. I'm like nervous, and I don't get nervous that easy.
How are you feeling?
Nervous. I'm not a nervous guy.
I'm Lizzie Frizzle. Let's talk about TV.
That's what we want.
Last time on BIP, the bugs were out, and I'm not talking about Sam getting eliminated.
Pretty much locked right now. Whoa.
Where is it? Sorry, no.
What are those?
They're like moths.
Are they dragonflies?
No.
Look at them, look at them, look at them.
In this episode, the bugs were also out, and I am talking about some of the men being notably cagey to downright dishonest with the women they're sort of dating. The episode is called Week 2, despite only covering days 4 and 5. So in actuality, we haven't even made it out of Week 1 yet. It's the morning after the first rose ceremony. With the men now in charge of the roses, a confederacy of dunces meets by the pool. Spencer and Justin are each still only interested in one woman, Jess and Lexi. But now that they can't be eliminated for the week, all the other guys are suddenly eager to explore more connections, especially Brian. Zoe feels ignored now that he doesn't need a rose from her, and the edit backs her up.
I am gonna receive my rose from Zoe.
Brian.
That's really all that matters. I'm having a great time here, and I'm not ready to leave.
The men, except Spencer and Justin's, wish to get to know more women is granted when more women show up. Via jet ski enter Parisa and Allie Joe. Parisa is basically Flick from Animal Crossing because her main shtick is that she loves bugs. Her secondary shtick is that she likes an honest man, something else she has in common with Flick. But it doesn't seem like Parisa cares that much about honesty since she goes after Brian. And as for Allie Joe,
Jewish, Jersey, and a Scorpio.
bad news for Bailey.
My mom would love a Jewish girl.
If I had to compare Allie Joe to an Animal Crossing character, it'd be one of the jock villagers, because her intro is mostly about boxing and carrying logs behind her back. Both new women are from the same Bachelor season as Zoe, and she's not excited to see either of them. At first, she's more unhappy about Allie Joe because they were enemies on The Bachelor. But after Parisa immediately starts hitting on Brian, Zoe has a new least favorite. She warns them not to pursue him, but instead, Parisa waits until Zoe and Brian are having a private conversation to butt in and give him her date card.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Then don't. Especially if the thing you're interrupting is good TV, like Zoe asking Brian about his ignoring her all morning.
You didn't even say hi to me this morning.
I'm grabbing a coffee, I'm grabbing breakfast, it's kind of critical. You can't be pressing, little things like that. You weren't the first person I said hi to this morning.
Zoe's issue wasn't that you didn't say good morning to her first, it's that you never said it at all. Also, initially, I thought Brian was saying that eating breakfast and drinking coffee were, critically important for him to start his day off right, so he can't be bothered talking to people until he's done. Turns out he actually meant that Zoe was being too critical of him by asking to be treated with a basic level of respect. But Brian assures her that he still feels good about their relationship, even though they both know he's lying. Earlier that day, the group participated in their first chemistry test, not to be confused with the informational exercise they did last episode, even though they're basically the same thing. In this, what could technically be called an activity, the cast is split up by gender, with Wells leading the men and Hannah Brown in charge of the women so she can get paid for appearing in the episode. Jesse sits this one out, literally, but he still checks in virtually.
We are relying on the magic of technology. Either that or they'd have to clone me, which would be totally weird.
But if the show could clone Jesse, wouldn't that be even more magical technology? Each cast member scrolls through photos of their castmates on a tablet, liking pics of anyone they'd want to kiss. Then mutual matches meet on the beach in a secluded kissing booth to kiss.
It's like the apps, but it's gonna happen right now.
Uh-huh. The goal of the activity is for people who are physically attracted to each other to act on it and see if it sparks a new or deeper connection. Basically the opposite of last episode's exercise, which was about forming new connections by taking appearance out of the equation entirely. But the real goal of this chemistry test is to cause drama by forcing everyone to make out with each other. Unfortunately, the producers underestimated just how normalized partner swapping has become within this franchise's alumni network, both on and off the show. Still, most women seem to only like 1 or 2 photos. As for the men,
they could not be more amped up to swipe right on any and every girl that they could kiss in that app.
Boop, 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 boop. I swipe right on everybody. I don't give a
when Wells and Hannah start sending couples to the kissing booth, the most interesting thing that happens isn't any of the slow-motion teeth-baring makeouts, obviously, but how similarly and how differently some people responded to the activity.
Peace sign. Peace.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. The whole point of Paradise is that you're exploring other things with other people, so it's not weird. It's just not weird here. It's fine.
The whole situation, like, what are we doing? This is weird.
In the booth, Allie Jo impresses Dale and Jonathan impresses Alex, but not as much as Ricky did.
Jonathan's a great kisser. You're such a good kisser. Oh my gosh.
Jeremy brings breath spray and chapstick for in-between rounds, but then only matches with Bailey. Parisa chews gum.
Is Parisa chewing gum right now?
And Alex reveals that she usually kisses with her eyes open.
No,
Spencer and Jess are each other's only matches, and according to Jess, the kiss is the best one yet. Justin and Lexi are also each other's only matches, but their kiss seems worse than their first one. Probably because Lexi barely wanted to participate this time.
We're supposed to kiss. It's like, I'm so uncomfortable.
But the most awkward kiss comes courtesy of Zoe and Brian. Even though he's ignoring her and she's annoyed that she's being ignored, they match with each other and share what Zoe calls their most passionate kiss yet. The awkward part comes after, when Brian pretends to leave the kissing booth at the same time as Zoe, so she'll think he didn't swipe right on any other women.
You left when I left. So I'm like, I don't know.
Only for him to turn around and make out with Parisa next.
It tastes good.
This episode focused so much on Brian's dishonesty and general sketchiness, it might as well have been called Lies of Brian. At the bar, Allie Jo continues to court Dale by offering him some of her tacos, since she's only eating the filling, and doing so with silverware, like she's Emily Gilmore trying to eat a frozen pizza. But even though Allie Jo seems most interested in Dale, she gives her date card to Jonathan instead. We don't get a reason why, but it might have been as simple as he was willing to go.
If you would like to take me, I don't know who all you're deciding between, I would be absolutely honored to go.
As Jonathan leaves for the date, Alex isn't worried about Allie Jo threatening their connection, but she gets more anxious as the night goes on.
How you feeling?
You drink takes your problems away.
On the double date, Parisa and Brian and Allie Jo and Jonathan head to a local bar where Wells is moonlighting, but Allie Jo missed the memo about wearing red and white. After getting the group liquored up, Wells leads them in a couples game night. The first event is a ladies-only twerk-off. They tie boxes around their waists, then try to knock ping pong balls out of them via twerking. The winner is this local bar patron. Allie Jo puts up a good fight, as I'd expect a boxing coach to, but Parisa mostly just jumps up and down. But I don't blame her for not wanting to twerk for an audience of primarily men she doesn't know. The next game is the sloth climb. Each woman must climb around their partner without touching the ground. We never find out who wins, but Brian and Parisa definitely lost. The last game is a men's-only arm wrestle against local champ Eduardo El Gigante. Really, it's a Jonathan-only event because we never see Brian compete. Jonathan wins, though, and Allie Jo is impressed because winning at arm wrestling is manly.
Men drink whiskey and we don't around.
Later, the couples get private time. Parisa tells Brian that she's looking for a partner she can stay young with. But Allie Jo wants someone she won't need to babysit during a night out. Jonathan's confident that he wouldn't need a sitter, not so much about his romantic potential with Allie Jo, so she turns her attention back to Dale for the rest of the episode. But across the bar, Brian gushes to Parisa that he thought he was going to leave Paradise single until she showed up. For me, that'd be a little bit of a red flag, since he was saying the same stuff to a different woman the day before I got there. But for Parisa, it's a green light. At the resort, a new arrival arrives. It's Jill, who's looking for something specific.
I really care about what's in here.
Wells doesn't like her chances.
Because they're idiots.
Jill's BIP 8 castmate Justin suggests that she go after Dale, Jeremy, or Jonathan, but she's not picky.
Whoever beating heart.
And shortly after Jill's arrival, another new woman, Susie, shows up. When it rains, it pours, literally. Susie is the second winner to join this Paradise cast after Dale, but she's the only one who rejected her lead's final rose.
I think maybe I'm most remembered for, turning down the final rose.
The timing of Susie's arrival couldn't be worse, which I guess also means it couldn't be better. She walks into the resort as Lexi is telling Justin that she needs to step back from their connection because she's still anxious about his past relationship with Susie. Justin is disappointed, either because he genuinely liked Lexi or because he wasted the first 4 days of Paradise on her. Susie's arrival is also bad timing for Jeremy because she's the person he most wanted to meet, except he's already stuck with a different cool and beautiful woman, Bailey. But that doesn't stop Jeremy from looking Susie up and down like he's me walking past a donut shop, then quickly pulling her for a one-on-one talk, even though last episode he told Hakeem,
I don't know if I'm gonna be like pulling people like that. Hopefully it's more natural.
When the couples return from their date, Brian says an obligatory hello to Zoe before getting in the pool to publicly mac on Parisa. So Zoe finds Dale to make herself feel better. But unfortunately, he tells her that even though they made out during the chemistry test, he's only focused on Kat, except when he's kissing Allie Joe. On day 5, after a breakfast of awkward silence, Brian finally pulls Zoe so he can officially tell her that he's moved on to Parisa. But I think that was clear when they made out in the pool in front of her room last night. During their talk, Brian interrupts Zoe, then asks her to let him speak, acts like he hasn't been ignoring her, pretends he didn't tell her the day before that he still likes her, and lies about not getting alone time with Parisa during their double date as justification for why they just had to make out in the pool near Zoe's room. As if he hadn't done enough already, Brian also explains to Zoe that he has more in common with Parisa, a claim he'll continue repeating without ever elaborating on what those commonalities are. This morning, Jesse shows up in person to give Jill and Susie date cards and also to remind everyone that Justin is Susie's ex.
Nice one, Jesse. Nice one. In case no one knew.
Somehow, the most uncomfortable thing about this Justin, Lexi, Susie triangle is that Lexi and Susie both wore cherry print that day. Before she deals with her date card, Susie encourages Lexi to undo her half breakup and continue pursuing Justin. Then Susie gives her date card to Jeremy because no one else showed any interest in her. When he tells Bailey that he's going on a date, she has basically no reaction other than to tell him to have fun. But he does that annoying thing where he hovers around repeating that he feels bad, even though she said it was fine and he obviously doesn't. On the date, Susie and Jeremy drink champagne, eat charcuterie, or get fed it, kiss, and ride jet skis, probably because the show still had the rentals from Parisa and Allie Joe's entrances. We don't see them talk about anything other than Jeremy reiterating how much he likes Susie despite not knowing anything about her and recognizing that. But at the end of the date, he's had the time of his life, and Susie's had a time in her life. She actually seemed to have a lot of fun too, but Jeremy is such a jerk in the next episode, I can't help but preemptively turn against him in this recap. For the final date of the episode, Jill can't find anyone to ask, partly because there aren't enough men to choose from, and partly because of the men she can pick between, none of them want to risk not getting a rose in the future by consciously uncoupling from their current partner. But when Jill talks to Jonathan, he graciously offers to go on the date and show her a fun, friendly time before she inevitably gets eliminated later that night.
What just know if the other conversations don't go well, I'm open to going.
Okay.
And I think it would be fun.
So once again, Jonathan gets to go on a date just by being the only beating heart willing to go. On their date, Jill and Jonathan explore the VIP suite at the top of the resort. Inside, Jonathan uses his 6 months of bartending a long time ago to make bad Bloody Marys.
Terrible drink.
After, they play Sexy Twister, which is basically regular Twister with one instance of Jonathan spinning a sexy wheel. He lands on kissing one of Jill's body parts and picks her mouth because
It's paradise. What am I going to do? Not kiss her?
at the end of the date, they take a dip in the pool because
It's paradise.
Meanwhile, Allie Jo continues trying to secure a rose from Dale by mentioning for the 3rd time in one episode, twice to him, that she's a Scorpio.
Jewish, Jersey, and a Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio, and I am very Scorpio.
I know a little bit about Scorpios.
I'm a Scorpio, so.
Using her signature Scorpio determination, Allie Jo puts her legs in Dale's lap, prompting him to put his hand on her thigh, even though that's supposed to be his and Kat's thing.
He's like holding on the thigh, we're enjoying the water. It's beautiful.
Speaking of, once Kat's decided that Dale's been alone with Allie Jo for long enough, she heads to the beach to splash around in his eyeline. That night, the cast is sent to their rooms because of heavy rain. Again. Jeremy debates giving a rose to Susie, who he clearly wants to give a rose to, or Bailey, who he feels guilty not giving a rose to. Brian confides in the guys that his connection with Parisa has gotten hot and heavy fast, which worries him, because when that's happened in his real life, those relationships never last. But he seemed pretty happy about it through the rest of the episode.
This is hot, heavy, quick. She's into me. I'm into her. I'm having fun.
Meanwhile, at the women's hangout, Parisa acknowledges that Brian's willingness to immediately drop Zoe in favor of her means he could do the same thing to her in the future. She just hopes that he doesn't. He probably will, though, if a tall enough woman shows up.
My instincts are always like tall woman, attractive.
At the pre-rose ceremony cocktail party, the cast enters to La Niña Boricua, even though they're in Costa Rica. In a corner of the bar, Parisa presents Brian with relationship scenarios she wants them to act out. In one, she calls him from jail and asks him to destroy evidence for her, which he does.
You killed somebody?
We don't know.
Elsewhere, we check in with other couples and potential couples. Jonathan confides in Jill, who uses humor to avoid serious interactions, about being worried that his current number one, Alex, relies too much on humor to avoid serious interactions. Allie Jo tries to get Dale to kiss her in the rain, but she has to settle for a smooch on the daybed in between him nervously checking for Kat. Bailey tells Jeremy that she's all in on him, and Jeremy tells the camera that he wishes he had 2 roses, one for her, one for Susie. Inside, Lexi compliments Justin's outfit. Again.
I like the fit. You look great.
Lexi backtracks about wanting to backtrack about pursuing Justin because she feels at ease having now talked to Susie, and because she needs to secure a rose before the ceremony. She and Justin hold hands and try to go for a walk, but it's still raining, so they just stand outside the room they were in and kiss under the awning instead. But after, Justin tells Susie that in her single day in paradise, she's already made his experience better. She wishes for a way that both she and Bailey could stay, essentially to compete for Jeremy. But I'm baffled as to how this guy...
Her body was tea. And, you know, I'm going to be the honey to that tea.
What's your favorite sex position? Mine's missionary with eye contact.
But
now somehow has multiple women vying for him. But I guess it's the inevitable outcome when there are only 6 men to choose from 5 days in. Half of them are basically going steady already, and one of them is Brian.
I don't think Brian's here for love. I think Brian's here to cup a feel and hang out on a beach.
At first, the rose ceremony is basically a gender-swapped reboot of last time. Jonathan's rose goes to Alex, Spencer gives Jess a rose, and another rose ceremony kiss, but they're getting less awkward. Kat gets a rose from Dale because he lost himself when their eyes met, and he says he hadn't experienced that feeling in a long time. Not since the day before.
There was a moment at the cocktail party where I caught Kat out of the corner of my eye, and I remember like kind of being lost for a minute. I was like, damn. dude. Like, I haven't felt that in a long time with someone. Allie Jo is gorgeous. Like, I'm having a conversation with her and like, I forget what the hell's going on because I'm like lost in her eyes.
And Bailey gets Jeremy's rose, even though he really seemed like he wanted to give it to Susie. Sorry for the low-hanging innuendo, but I'm just trying to fit in with the cast.
I think it would take a lot for me to derail the Lexi train. That was crazy. That sounded crazy.
You see a little like deeper, that sounds weird, deeper inside me. Jesse, lay down on the
I
table.
had Wells last night.
Really?
Whoa.
I'm picking out a loaf of bread. What do you say to me?
Bread. I'd love to give you my hoagie, but like that's crazy. I really enjoyed building a strong foundation with you. Really excited to go a little bit deeper.
I want to see if I can go deeper. That was good.
But Alex is the last person we see having a good time at the rose ceremony. Next, Brian gives his rose to Parisa. Okay, so I guess they're also having a good time, but Zoe isn't. The Justin, Lexi, Susie trio are about to have a terrible night too, because instead of giving his rose to Lexi like everyone expected,
Do you think Justin will give me his rose? 100,000%.
Justin offers a rose to Susie so she can stay and pursue things with Jeremy or whoever else may show up. In response, Susie pulls her signature move, rejecting a rose. Lexi walks out, Justin walks out, Susie walks out after him, then a camera crew runs after her. The episode ends as the fate of 6 people and 1 rose hang in the air like the never-ending rain. To find out what happens, come back tomorrow for the next Bachelor in Paradise recap. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about the next video. Thanks again and see you then. Bye!